effectively adapting to climate change effects in order to seek welfare and well-being for themselves and their families. As we raise awareness through information and education, we should explain and begin to explore the most relevant and doable gender-sensitive climate change adaptation, mitigation, and disaster risk reduction programs. They should be grounded on local needs and realities, and not just pose as lip service to the climate change agenda. This Congress will probably and properly identify these and elaborate on them. At the close of this Congress, we will call on the women of the world to engage with governments and communities to realize mitigation, adaptation, and disaster risk reduction programs that are truly attuned to their needs on the ground. We will call on the parliaments, as we did 2 days ago in a 2-day closed-door meeting with 10 lawmakers from Asia, Europe, Latin America, and Africa, and congresses across the globe to craft gender-responsive development policy agendas and reforms that address climate change risks, people's adaptation, and programs for mitigation. Women have been silently and effectively at the front lines of confronting climate change. In Micronesia, women farmers have developed their own useful knowledge of the island's hydrology, enabling them to find water and dig out water wells during droughts. A gender-sensitive community education in Honduras, one that focused on warning systems and hazard management overseen by women, led to the prompt but orderly evacuation of the communities hard hit by Hurricane Mitch in 2004. This saved hundreds, if not thousands, of precious lives. Kenya's Greenbelt movement, relying on cadres of women engaged in massive reforestation, hopes to capture 350,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide, check oil erosion, and revive lost, ravaged watershed areas. In the Philippines, women make up a sizable portion of workers, supporters, and volunteers of Luntiang Pilipinas, or Green Philippines, an urban forestry and tree planting program initiated 10 years ago. After this landmark effort of the Center for Asia Pacific Women in Politics, or CAPWIP, initiated and headed by Ms. Kim, in partnership with the United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Risk Reduction, ISDR, the Women's Environment and Development Organization, or WEDO, the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, the Interparliamentary Union, the IPU, the United Nations Fund for Women, or UNIFEM, the Asian Development Bank, the ADB, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. At organizing this Congress, we expect a dramatic shift in the degree and scope of women's involvement in climate change and disaster risk reduction efforts. From the quiet but steady work they perform at their communities, they will move into the front lines of pushing for good legislation and policy. Women are powerful agents of change in the overall climate change adaptation and mitigation efforts. We know this, and we have a track record to prove this. So much work remains to be done, and work, as this Congress implores us to do, we must. Thank you, mabuhay, welcome to Manila.
Thank you very much, Senator Legarda.